book dragons! I am back here to start a new reading vlog. So this is going to be Aurelium themed, and I honestly don't know how many parts this reading vlog is going to be because I want to like chronicleize all of the books that I read and all my thoughts. So it may be a two-part reading vlog, it might be a one-part. I also have off this week. But I am participating in 2 readathons this month. I'm participating in Realmathon, which I am team fantasy because I'm trying to read more fantasy, and I am also participating in Aurelium, which is what this is about. So if you don't know anything about Aurelium, check out Book Rose video. She explains it in graphic detail. But for me, I am a mind walker, and I have to take 6 classes. So the first one that I already did was astronomy. I had to read a book that had 2 E's in the title, and I read something close to magic in my last vlog. So I'm not necessarily going to worry about that unless I get to the end of this and decide that I want to like read more books. So the book that I'm going to start with, the rest of them will all be like picked by a random spinner wheel. But this is the one that I really did want to get to, is Dreams Lie Beneath by Rebecca Ross. I have read one book by Rebecca Ross and really loved it, and that was Sisters of Sword and Song. I read that quite a while ago and I love that book, and then I just read Divine Rivals by her and didn't love it as much. This book I'm really excited for. It's a standalone, I believe, and it has to do with dream magic. This is also the Owl Crate edition that I like had on my shelf for so long. Because this was one of the HarperCollins books that I like couldn't read. It is also a 5-star read prediction, and I'm really trying my hardest to get as many 5-star read predictions into this book vlog as I can, because by the time we hit May, I want to have a new 5-star read prediction, and there's a couple that I am neglecting. But so yeah, that is what I'm reading. I'm gonna read about 100 pages, I think, for this, and just kind of check in with you guys and give you guys my thoughts. So I'll read to chapter 11 and then I'll give you guys my thoughts. The only thing I know about this is it has to do with dreams, and that's it. And I'm hoping I love it. I'm really hoping that I love it. So yeah, that is my plan. I'm gonna go read this. This will count for a book that has the same color as your shirt, and I kind of cheated, but this is my shirt and this is the book, so it's kind of similar. Is it exact? No, but it's pretty close. I also really like blue, so I put on my 11 shirt and that is on underneath, but it's also super late, so I'm not going to take it off because I'm cold. But yeah, that is my plan. So I am going to tackle this. I'm also watching a couple of YouTube videos. I'm also watching Shadow and Bone. I'm finally caught up on YouTube, which is great. I always fall really far behind. And yeah, so just other books that are on this TBR is I have to read a book with metal in the title, which I might read Master of Iron, or I might read Self-Same Metal. Those are 2 that I might read. I have to read a book in a certain like page allotment, 389 to 415. I think I'm gonna read Revere, and then Wreck by a Friend, I'm gonna read Revele, but my friend Jen gave me that Wreck. And then a map book, I'm gonna probably read either Crooked Kingdom or Castle in Their Bones, because those are some 5-star read predictions that I really need to get through. So yeah, that is my plan. The puppy is for a walk so I can get some reading done. She's so cute, just very distracting. And yeah, let me just show you guys this beautiful dust jacket from Owl Crate. I got this quite a while ago, but I just put it off because of the strike. So yeah, I'm gonna go read about 100 pages, and then I'll give you guys a time check. Right now it is about 7:27. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to read the whole thing tonight, but tomorrow is also Easter Sunday. We're not doing anything for Easter Sunday, so I'll probably be able to update. But yeah, that is the plan. All right, off to reading I go. See you guys in a bit for a quick check-in. Bye, book dragons. Book dragons, I'm back. It is Easter Sunday, but I did wind up reading about 100 pages in Where Dreams Lie Beneath by Rebecca Ross. I think what I'm going to do for this reading vlog, because a lot of my fantasy reading for this year is going to focus on books that I got like last year or the year before. I'm going to focus this reading vlog on like books I got last year, but also still doing the Aurelium prompts. So this Aurelium prompt is for a book that's the same color as my shirt. I think I took off the shirt. Oh no, I still have it, but the cover is very similar to the shirt I was wearing yesterday. So but alas, let's get into it. I read about 100 pages of this. I definitely like this book a bit more. I read a different Rebecca Ross earlier this year, Divine Rivals, and I didn't love it as much. I felt like it was very low fantasy, and this definitely has fantasy. So you follow this character named Clem, and her dad are like dream wardens, and they kind of protect the town from dreaming, and they kind of defeat the dreams, and they have their own little like corridor. There's different types of magic, but they basically get ousted the first 50 pages of the story, and now Clem is trying to make a comeback, or trying to like get back what's hers. So it's a bit of a revenge tale, and she has done something that will set her up for revenge in the first 100 pages. I'm liking it. There are the possibilities of a hate to more romance that might be building. There's a lot in this story. I think it's one of those stories, kind of like when I read Hunger of Thorns, that the plot changed pretty dramatically throughout that story. And I think that this is probably going to be very, very similar. So I'm going to, this book is divided into parts. So I'm going to read to the third part of this, which is like 300 pages in. But it's also like pretty big font. So there is a possibility I might be able to finish today. But yeah, I'm going to get up to like 350, I think. That's like where I think I'm going to get up to, 300, around 350. So yeah, once I get to that third part, I will give you guys a solid update, but I'm really liking it so far. I love dream magic. I think that's really interesting. I'm curious where this story is going to go, because like now I just feel like anything can happen, but I think she's going to get revenge. There was also like elements in her town that I feel like she left closed. You know, so I'm liking it. So I'm going to go read at least to page like 300. So I'm going to read another like chunk of this book, and then when I get to page 342, I'll give you guys an update, because that will put me at part 3. So yeah, but so far I'm really liking it. I really liked Rebecca Ross's first book that I read by her, not her first published book, but I read Sisters of Sword and Song, and I like that one quite a bit. And this just seems interesting. So I am going to go read a bit more, try to catch up on Shadow and Bone. That's my show for today. I always pick a show and some YouTube videos to watch to just give my brain a bit of a break. And yeah, that's what I'm watching. So I'll talk to you guys soon for an update. Probably, my guess is probably like later tonight if I can read the whole chunk today. But I am on page 112 and I have to get up to page 300. So we will see how long that takes. But definitely I'm enjoying it and happy that I finally picked it up. Bye bye, dragons. Hey Book Dragons, I'm back. It's actually a lot later. It's like a whole other day. But I did wind up getting up to part 3, which is page 342, basically page 350 of Dreams Lie Beneath. I'm really enjoying it. I don't think it's going to be a 5-star read. I mean, I do think that there's a more equal balance between the supernatural and magical elements, but then also like the romance and the historical elements. Like, it's reading to me, some elements remind me very much of reading like a Regency romance, just like the time period that we're in, but I'm also really liking the dream elements. Buffy was my favorite TV show growing up, so whenever I read anything about dreams, I always think of the dream episode, and I always think of the nightmare episode when Buffy got really, really sick. That episode, whenever things about dreams always remind me. But basically, you follow a main character named Clementine, and her dad are like wardens. And they basically lose their wardenship at the start, and then they have to kind of go somewhere else, and then she winds up kind of assuming a new identity to kind of work with the guy that took the wardenship from her and her dad. But secrets are unraveling, and they live at like the base of a mountain, and at the top of the mountain, or even higher than that, is a society that kind of do this, and no one can now dream because they basically attack this kingdom. And when no one can die in this kingdom, and also no one can dream, so anyone in their little community can't dream. So you have dream wardens that kind of write down the dreams, and those dreams can kind of walk amongst you and like kill people. And I'm really liking it. I'm really curious to see like what the last like 140 pages is, because it's definitely going to be a standalone. I don't think it's going to be more like in a series, and I always struggle sometimes to read series, so this was a nice surprise. I definitely like it more than Divine Rivals, which is her newest one, and less than Sisters of Sword and Song. But it again, it's a very, very insular story. I definitely could count this probably as like a fantasy romance, because the romance plotline is pretty much equally distributed throughout the whole thing, which means I get bonus points for Ramathon, which is really exciting. I'm enjoying it. I think that the concept of dreams and like nightmares is always really interesting. I like Clem as the main character. We just got like a lot of information, so I feel like the last part is gonna like kind of dive into it, but I'm really enjoying it. So I think I'm gonna read like another like 100 pages and maybe give you guys like one more check-in just to see my thoughts, but I definitely gonna be able to finish this tonight. My dad has to go to work. He's working tonight, and I have the puppy, and my mom's still in Indiana, so I will definitely give you guys an update. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. Do I think it's gonna be a 5-star read? No. Do I think I'm gonna give it probably 4? Yeah. Sorry. But I am enjoying it. I think the romance is definitely pulling me through the story. I think the world is really, really fascinating, and I like the last, I mean, I'm excited to see what the next section brings. And yeah, I think that there's a nice balance in this story between historical stuff, supernatural stuff, and also romance, and I feel like that wasn't the case when I read Divine Rivals, but I really am enjoying it. I'm happy that I finally picked it up. It's been on my TBR for quite a while, so I'm gonna go read another 100 pages and give you guys a check-in. Or, I don't know, we'll see like how much I have left. If I have like 30 pages left, I'm probably just going to tackle the rest of it. But so far, I'm enjoying it. I think it's a fun read. I like the world building a lot. I think the world building is fleshed out a little bit more. Sorry, you're going to see my puppy. Or maybe not. She's over here. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys. Ooh, Cassie. Sorry, she just knocked down my ring light. Cassie, can you stop? So yeah, I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Hey friends, I'm back. I just want to do a quick update. It is a beautiful day, but I really do want to go work out. But I did want to say that I did wind up finishing Dreams Lie Beneath. I don't know what happened to my dust jacket. So we're just going to do it without the dust jacket. I really like this book. I think I probably am going to give it like 4 stars. I have to do it through like my Cassidy review sheet, which I don't really use it for like the stats of that stuff because I just think I can pick out my own like reviews like number wise. I did like it. I thought it was a fun read. I think this book struggled a little bit with pacing. Like in the middle I felt a little bit of small pacing. In the end definitely was a bit of a pacing issue, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun read, a clear standalone, which you don't always get in YA because everything becomes a series or everything becomes a companion. I just think the pacing was a bit off in this book, and like you didn't really feel connected to the characters. I felt it a little bit like removed from them a little bit, but I enjoyed it. So I'm going to take a bit of a reading break. I'm gonna listen to my audiobook for a different vlog because I want to start a new audiobook tomorrow because I'm going to get my hair done and I would like to start a new one. But yeah, so I'm gonna pick up Revere by Ryan LaSala. This is a thriller that's been on my TBR since 2020, I would say. I think I had an arc too of it. I got an arc, I think at BEA, I think I got an arc of it, and then I got a finished copy when I went to the ALA before the pandemic. But this is another one that has to do with like dreams, I think. But yeah, so I'm excited. I'm gonna read probably about like 100 pages and then I'll give you guys like a check-in. But I've heard some really good things about this book, so I'm super excited to dive in and tackle it. But yeah, I'm gonna read about 100 pages. I'm also watching The Mandalorian. I finished watching Shadow and Bone. I really liked it. I thought it was great. I'm curious to see what like season 3 looks like. If all the characters are gonna be there, they're gonna focus on the crows. But yeah, I enjoyed it. So I'm gonna go start Revere. I'm gonna go work out while I have a bit of time. I'm really bad at working out when I work because I just don't have enough time when I get home. But yeah, I enjoyed this. Definitely a 4-star read. This is also a 5-star read production, which I've been trying to tackle this week because I do have a lot of time. And a lot of my 5-star read productions I have left are larger. So for Revere, it is for the Magical Readathon. It will count for my target book. There's a book I have to read between like a certain number of pages, and this like fits right in there. And a lot of my books are either too big or too short, so it's hard to find it. A book like that length, it was like a hard, just for me, I didn't own a lot of books between that. But yeah, I'm excited. This one's been on my TBR for a while. I think it's on my self-destruct TBR too, which I'm finally getting in. And it also has titles and things. So I'm going to go work out. And then I'm going to start Revere, and then I'll give you guys an update when I can. Bye, Big Dragons. Friends, I'm back for an update. I unfortunately am going to DNF Revere. I'm just not feeling the writing style, to be very honest with you. And, like, I've been struggling to just keep reading it. I thought maybe because I was, like, I took a break yesterday from reading. I thought that was it. But the writing style is just really, really chompy. And, like, it's interesting. It's compelling. It was pitched to me sort of like Inception. But it's just not working. Like, it's just not working. So I think I'm just going to DNF it, and I might come back to it when I have a bit more time. But like the prompt I'm doing for Aurelium is like a certain number of pages. Oh, my ring light just fell. It's actually not even the puppy's fault. It's my fault. Sorry. Oh, jeez. Sorry. Okay, there. Sorry. I just got a new ring light. Actually, it's an old ring light that I finally set up because I had time. So yeah, I'm kind of struggling because I have Light Lark by Alex Astor, which I've heard such mixed things about. A Marvelous Light by Freya Manskins, which I've heard really good things about, and Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Gillian McAllister, which is a thriller. I have no idea. Honestly, I really don't. I'm gonna start with Light Lark and just see how I'm feeling. I've heard really like bad things about it, but again, I kind of have weird opinions, so I might like it. And then I'll probably go to Wrong Place, Wrong Time if it's not working. But I'm gonna give this book a shot, see how I feel about it. It's perfect for the prompt. It's like 412 pages. So yeah. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna see how I feel. People have had really, really like bad opinions about this author. So I'm curious. Again, I try not to let author drama affect my reading experience, but it did put me off of reading it. I'm gonna be honest. So I don't even know what this book is about. I have no idea what this book is about, but I'm gonna give it a shot, and I'm gonna come back to you when I've read 100 pages. Or actually, I'll come back to you when I read about 100 pages and see how I'm feeling. Maybe I'll come back to it when I've read 50 pages. Yeah, I think that's best. Maybe I'll come back to it when I read 50 pages and kind of give you guys my thoughts, and then we'll see if these have to come into the equation at all. But I'm on break, and I don't want to read books on break that I'm struggling to read, so yeah. All right, I'm going to start Light Luck, see how I feel. And it may not be the book for now, but it is in the page limit, so that's why I'm kind of leaning towards it, and I want to read more YA fantasy, so yeah. I'm going to go read for a bit and see how I'm feeling. I have no idea what this book's about, to be very honest with you, but I want to read it, so I'm gonna go do that. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, book dragons. Friends, I'm back. I really haven't been updating for the past couple of days, and I apologize for that. I've been off, but it's just been busy. My mom's been in Indiana, and like a lot of my free time has gone to the puppy, and my dad's been working a lot, so I apologize. But I did wind up getting up to page 100 in All of Us Villains by Amanda Foody and Christina Lynn Herman. I'll be honest, this reading book sort of fell off the rails a little bit, but I am really liking this, and I just think because I'm doing Realmathon this weekend, and there is like a bunch of like prompts that I have to read for, or like shorter things, so I almost don't want to like be reading this because I'm not gonna finish it by tomorrow at like 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock. I'm probably not even gonna make like it halfway through. So what I think I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna put a pause on it, and I'm gonna put a pause on this reading vlog because I'm like in the middle of it, and I'll pick this reading vlog up on Monday when I head back to work, and then hopefully I will have made some progress. But I feel like I'm gonna put this down because I am liking it, but I just want to read something super quick, and I have to read a bunch of quick stuff for that. So yeah, that is where we're at. But I am really liking this, All of Us Villains by Amanda Foody and Christina Lynn Herman. I think it's like a fun story. It's very, very Hunger Game-esque, and the one thing I didn't love about Hunger Games was like you really only felt for like the main character, and I felt like there was so many side people in that story, but none of them like I loved. So like I felt like Katniss was the heart of the story, but for this story you get like a lot of different point of views and a lot of different characters, and I'm really, really liking that. So basically you follow these like 5 or 6 people, and they're going to do like this blood moon competition where like magic is up for sale, and they're all competing. And a year before there was a book like went out, kind of like Gossip Girl, that kind of revealed all their secrets, and now they're kind of working towards that. So, and it's like the eve of the competition, so I'm really liking it. Like I think it's gonna be a very, very quick read. There's a lot of like elements in the story. I have read both of these authors before, and I have really liked their stories. We're on the eve of the competition starting. But yeah, so yeah, I think I don't know if I'm gonna read any more tonight or if I'm gonna pick up another book. What I think I definitely do need to do when the puppy finally goes to bed is I need to pick some short things to read this weekend. I know I definitely need to read something short, like a lot of shorter books, so I'm gonna focus on that too. But yeah, that is the plan. So my goal is to read another 100 pages tonight. I don't know if that's doable. Maybe it's doable. We'll see. But yeah, but overall I am liking it. I'm glad that I went through like a couple of DNFs this week, picking up what I wanted to read. But overall I'm really enjoying it. So I'm gonna try to read another like 100 pages before I go to bed tonight. That's the goal, to get up to page 200, so I don't have a ton to read more tomorrow, but we'll see. I might just try to read the rest of this. We'll see. I'm very like indecisive now, but I know that tomorrow I'm gonna have to pick stuff to read too, so, and that's gonna be a totally different vlog. So sorry, my puppy has decided to come get licked. Sorry you can't see her. She's like out of frame. Hi, you wanna say hi to the camera? Oh, wanna say hi? No, wait, she's licking the camera, sorry. But yeah, sorry, my puppy had to make an appearance. But I was wanting to give you guys a quick update. Sorry, she's gonna knock over my thing. But I have started reading All of Us Villains by Amanda Foody and Christina Lynn Herman, and I am really liking it. I was struggling to pick up what I wanted to read because with this Rebellion prop, I need to read a book that's like a certain number of pages. Literally, it should be about 400 pages, and like everything on my TBR is either super short or super long. Mostly too long or mostly too short. But like I normally try to pick readathon books that are like shorter because then like I don't have to worry about it. But this is the one that I'm liking. I'm enjoying it. It basically follows all of these characters that are going to do a competition, and they're kind of 5 families, and they're all competing. Very, very Hunger Game-esque. And the thing I didn't love about Hunger Games was I felt like we only learned really about Katniss, but this story I feel like we're getting enough point of view characters for like everybody, and that's really, really fun to me. Like I feel like I care about them all. The world's really interesting. I like all the characters, and it's definitely giving me Hunger Game vibes. Cassie's still biting cords. But yeah, that's my plan. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this reading vlog going today or I'm gonna stop it tomorrow. I don't really know. But I definitely would like to like read a lot of this book by tomorrow and just sort of power through and finish it. But I don't know if that's gonna happen because 5 o'clock tomorrow I have to switch my whole entire TBR and do something else for Peace Talks, which is like shorter books. So no big long fantasy, which sucks because I'm also team fantasy, so I have to find a way to work with that. So yeah, I am gonna go read another 100 pages of this. I think that's my goal for tonight. It's still pretty early, I think, so I should be able. It's like just like 8:30, so. But yeah, that is my plan. So I will talk to you guys with an update when I've read another 100 pages. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, Book Dragons. Friends, so I have 2 updates. I did want to say that I did want to finishing All of Us Villains by Amanda Foody and Christina Lynn Herman. I enjoyed it. I felt like it was a really fun dystopian-esque novel with magic. I thought that all the characters were fun. I thought it was an enjoyable read. Like, I think all the characters were very fascinating. It was a compelling story. It was a quick listen. I was doing it kind of when I was running errands. And I'm happy that I picked it up. I didn't actually work for any of the prompts that I was doing, but it was a fun read, and I'm happy that I finally read it because it has been on my TBR for a while. And I would say if you like the Hunger Games, I would pick this one up. I think it does have a lot of Hunger Game elements, the competition, but you do definitely get a lot of point of views, which I did like. But because of that, I felt like all the point of views were a little bit similar. So like as an audio, I think it was hard to differentiate like who was who. So I got this one like probably like 4 stars, but I enjoyed it. I definitely want to pick up book 2 when I'm not in a rush. Like I feel like this weekend's just a rush because it's Realmathon and Peace Talks are happening in like 3 hours, so I don't have a ton of time, but I like that. I also went to a free book sale at my library. They do it like every couple of months, and I got a couple of books all for free. And I normally do this when I go there, just pick up random books that if I think I'm ever gonna read. But yeah, I just want to go do a small haul. I really do hauls, but other than like in a book haul, but I'm gonna do this here, so stay tuned. I got Mimosa's Mischief and Murder by Sarah Rott. This is like a really quick cozy mystery, and like I am doing Peace Talks this weekend, so I was trying to pick up smaller books in case I run out of books to read. But this is a cozy mystery set in Alabama, and I think a murder happens. I also picked up Florence and Tuscany, a guidebook for Italy because I am going to Italy in August, and I figured I would bring this around because I am going to Florence. I am not going to Tuscany this time, but I figured I would bring this in my backpack when I head there. I also got they had a lot of these Simone St. James, and I just picked up the one that sounded the most interesting, but this is Inquiry into Love and Death, and this is 1920s England. A young woman searches for the truth behind her uncle's mysterious death in a town haunted by a restless ghost. Again, another really, really quick read. I am going to be doing a lot of readathons in the next couple of months, so I want to have some books on hand. I also got a duology. I got Given to the Sea by Mindy McGinnis, and I got Give to the Earth. And I struggle with Mindy McGinnis's like contemporary books. They're a little bit dark for me, but these are ones that I've always wanted. And I remember trying to get them at a conference I went to, and I just didn't get them, but I saw both and I figured I would pick them up. I also picked up School for Unusual Girls by Catherine Baldwin. Again, this is set in 1814. I love books about that time period. I don't read a lot of YA. I read a lot of like romances, but yeah, I'm excited for this. And then I got 3 mystery, like, you know, mass market paperbacks. It came upon a midnight cheer. This is like a cozy mystery set in a library, I think. Yeah. But this one is a Christmas one. I'll probably get that for Christmas. And then I got Silently Shady by Amanda Quick. This is one of her like Regency romance mysteries, I think. And I also got Murder of a Bookshop Babe. But again, I was kind of thinking, because this is so short, I might read this during Peace Talks. But yeah, so that is my book haul, and that is my wrap up for All of Us Villains. I also read Dreams Lie Beneath by Rebecca Ross, and I gave that like 4 stars. And then I DNF'd Rivere. And yeah, so I had a pretty good reading week. I'm happy to say. Now I'm gonna go set up for Peace Talks and get that stuff set. So I will talk to you guys for my next reading vlog, which will be all Realmathon themed, trying to squeeze in some Aurelian prompts when I can. This vlog went a little bit off the rails because I didn't get all of my Realmathon things, and this didn't count for anything. Well, actually it did, because it was gonna count for my like page number books. Like I had to read a certain number of pages, which is why I picked this up, and then I realized that my other book counted for it, but this was supposed to be for that. And then Dreams Lie Beneath was a book that had like my same color shirt when I was wearing it. So yeah. All right, I'll see you guys for my next video. Bye, Book Dragons.